Some really big news in the miles and points world today. Virgin Atlantic has made the change to go full dynamic pricing. And so what does that mean? That means that sometimes you can get some really good deals and sometimes you can get some really bad deals. In this video, I'm gonna go over some of those changes. My name is Max and I help people maximize their airline miles, hotel points, and credit card points. Remember, hit the like and subscribe button down below and let's get started. So Virgin Atlantic has gone full dynamic pricing. That means some flights can be really cheap and some flights can be really expensive. You don't really know until you actually run an award search on the Virgin Atlantic website. For example, you can find this really great redemption going from New York to London Heathrow, and it's 29,000 Virgin Atlantic miles and about $250 in taxes and fees. But then also you can find the same exact flight a couple days later, and it's 350 Virgin Atlantic miles. That's the thing with dynamic award pricing, is that airlines can change the redemption amount based on demand and really whatever they feel like it. And so that's the tricky thing about dynamic award pricing. This is similar to what Flying Blue currently does with their rewards program. What I like to describe it as is like it's a treasure hunt. You have to go search for the award availability and you really don't know what you're gonna find until you actually run that search. For example, on the West Coast, you can also go from LA to London Heathrow and it's 47,000 Virgin Atlantic miles and about $250 in taxes and fees as well, which is a really good deal and it's a good improvement from the previous redemption rate where this maybe would have cost like 60,000 Virgin Atlantic miles and over $1,000 in taxes and fees. One super important thing I almost forgot to mention is that overall the taxes and fees on a lot of these points redemptions have gone down. And so for example, if I looked at Washington to London Heathrow previously, before October 30th, 2024, it would have cost over $1,000 in taxes and fees for a one-way ticket in business class. But now if you search for that same exact route, the taxes and fees start at $250 and can go up to around like $450. And so the taxes and fees in general are just lower across the board, which is really nice. And so you have the opportunity to score some really good redemptions, but you also have the opportunity to run in some really bad redemptions. And that's what's gonna happen most of the time. To run the award availability search, you can go over to the Virgin Atlantic website. You just go to reward flights here, and then you put in where you wanna fly to. So for example, let's do JFK to London Heathrow, and then let's do one way and let's do January, which is an off-peak time. So off-peaks tend to be the cheaper redemption, especially when it comes to this dynamic award pricing. If you didn't log into your Virgin Atlantic account yet, you're gonna have to in this new search, and you'll see this entirely new search experience and it looks a little bit different. All right, so this is the new search interface and you have the search bar up here, you have the weekly calendar up here, and then you have the search results here. And so you'll notice immediately the new thing here is the saver tags, and these identify that these are the saver award seats. They're the lowest price seats for this particular flight. It might not be the lowest price for that particular day, but it is the lowest for that particular flight. And so for example, this one is 350,000 Virgin Atlantic miles. It doesn't have the saver tag. That's because it's not the lowest, it's super expensive. There's also this Delta partner flight as well down here, but what you wanna look for is the saver tags, and this is the upper class or business class, premium, and economy here. You can click day by day to search day by day up here as well to search for availability that way. But if you wanna level up your search, I wouldn't be using the day by day search. I would be using the Virgin Atlantic Reward Seat Checker, which they don't really post anywhere on their website, or it's kind of hard to find. So you can Google Virgin Atlantic Reward Seat Checker, or you can just follow the link I'll drop down in the description and you can go check that out. So the Reward Seat Checker tool is one of the easiest tools you'll ever use to search for award flights. To choose the airport, you select the airports from the selected list. And as a reminder, this only searches Virgin Atlantic flights. This used to search Delta flights through a little trick, but now it's only Virgin Atlantic flights. And so let's do LAX to London Heathrow, for example, and let's do August 2025. Click on Find Reward Seats, and it will give you an entire award calendar and telling you which dates require the fewest amount of points for the flight redemption. So for example, August 4th right here is upper class, business class is 50,000 points, and some of these other dates are a little bit more expensive. 125,000 points, 82,000 points, 150,000 points, and then you can also click month by month up here to change the month as well. And so going back to July is a little bit more expensive. There are no good business class redemptions. The lowest is 77,500 points over here. You can't run the search directly from this page. You have to go click on Find My Reward Seats, and that redirects you over to the Virgin Atlantic page, and you can make the search over there. But it does have the Saver Reward tags as well, which is really nice and a good add to this tool so that you can know which dates are Saver Awards. So that's how you use the Reward Seat Checker. But keep in mind the Virgin Atlantic Reward Seat Checker is only for Virgin Atlantic operated flights. As for partner award flights, you can't find the partner award flights on the Reward Seat Checker, but you can still search it on the Virgin Atlantic page, and those redemption rates have primarily stayed the same, and those have not changed at all. And so I don't expect the ANA redemption to change, the Delta, Korean Air, or Air France, or ITA Airways. To maximize your redemption even further, you can stack it with a transfer bonus. Oftentimes there's 40% transfer bonuses to Virgin Atlantic or 30% transfer bonuses to Virgin Atlantic. And so if there's a 40% transfer bonus, that means that you only need to transfer 21,000 credit card points over to Virgin Atlantic. Then you'll have over 29,000 Virgin Atlantic miles, which you can use to redeem for the flight from New York to London Heathrow. From LAX, you can transfer as little as 34,000 credit card points. If there's a 40% transfer bonus, then you'll have more than enough points to make that booking for that flight from LAX to London Heathrow. So if you're on the Virgin Atlantic page and you find one of those good redemptions and you're able to stack it with a transfer bonus, then you're getting a really good deal. Overall, the changes to the Virgin Atlantic program is not as bad as I would have thought, but it's also not great as well because dynamic award pricing is what a lot of airlines are going towards, and dynamic award pricing is harder and harder to maximize because you don't know what you're gonna expect unless you run the search, and some days it might be really expensive and some days it might be really cheap. My problem with the dynamic award pricing is that Virgin Atlantic's dynamic award pricing might look good right now, but they can slowly increase that Saver Award rate, or they can just reduce the amount of Saver Award space little by little until we realize that there's no more good deals to redeem Virgin Atlantic miles. It's kind of that saying where it's like you're slow boiling a frog or something like that, where it's like, yeah, it might look okay right now, but they can slowly continue to devalue the redemptions, and eventually it's going to be harder and harder to find those good redemptions within Virgin Atlantic's dynamic award pricing. We'll have to see if that kind of pans out. I remember when Flying Blue went dynamic award pricing, it was actually pretty good. You'll often find 50,000 point redemptions in business class from the US over to Paris. But now it's harder and harder and harder to find those 50-point redemptions. And then also some of those promo rewards as well. There was a ton of them previously, and now it seems like it's getting reduced more and more and more. If you have Virgin Atlantic miles, I would redeem them right now before this dynamic award pricing gets any worse. I don't know, maybe it won't get worse, maybe it'll get better, but I doubt it, but I guess we'll have to see. I'll put some more videos over here if you wanna go check out some videos over here on how to maximize your points. Remember to hit the like and subscribe button down below. Thanks for watching this far, and I'll see you guys in the next one.